It is the case that has stunned Boston. Accused Craigslist killer Philip Markoff appeared in court on Tuesday and is being held without bail this morning. CBS News correspondent Daniel Sieberg joins us with details. Daniel, good morning.
Good morning, Julie. The big question at this point is, why did he do it? One possible motive emerging this morning is gambling debts, as prosecutors say the 23-year-old medical student targeted women who advertised massage services on Craigslist and in one case shot Julissa Brisman to death.
This was a brutal, vicious crime, savage, and it shows that Philip Markoff is a man who's willing to take advantage of women, to hurt them, to beat them, to rob them.
Police say they found a semi-automatic weapon, duct tape, and plastic restraints in Markoff's apartment, described by prosecutors as critical, powerful evidence. But it was Markoff's routine use of technology that led police to the second-year med student.
This guy left himself open. He left electronic fingerprint.
Investigators used emails Markoff sent to track him down and tie him to Brisman. He was arrested as he drove with his fiancée to Foxwoods Casino. Jeremy Gillis says he spent the night in jail with Markoff.
He was like biting his nails and stuff, and after that he got pretty quiet. He didn't say much after that.
Markoff's parents and future in-laws have publicly remained quiet. None showed up in court. But his fiancée announced in emails that she's sticking by him. Meanwhile, Markoff remains defiant.
He's pleaded not guilty. He is not guilty.
A former teacher describes Markoff as a good kid. Friends and neighbors who knew him are stunned by the charges. Julie?
CBS's Daniel Sieberg in Boston. Thanks, Daniel. Joining us from Boston is Dan Conley, the district attorney of Suffolk County. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Julie.
What do you believe was the motive in this case?
Our belief right now is that Philip Markoff was motivated by robbery. We are exploring and not foreclosing any other possible motives, but at this time our theory of the case is that he was preying upon young women who were advertising their services on Craigslist for robbery.
But why? I mean, there are reports that he had a gambling debt. Is that something you guys are looking into and a valid motive?
Well, I think that's something that at this point we're looking at, but at this point, again, we continue to believe that his focus was robbery. What motivated his robbery, why he was robbing women, could gambling have been an issue? We'll look at that, but right now, robbery was the motive. Can
you describe who you think you're dealing with in Philip Markoff?
Well, we're dealing with somebody who is fairly clever, certainly made efforts to hide himself from authorities by creating email addresses to contact these young women, for example, and also choosing women who were vulnerable, women who were perhaps living on life's margins, who perhaps would not contact authorities if they were victimized. And this is the type of individual we're dealing with, someone who's willing to abuse women, to dominate them, to hurt them, to get what he wants.
So how did investigators initially zero in on him? How did you guys track him down?
We were able to track him down by tracing his email contacts with one of our victims. By doing so, we were able to identify the internet provider source to his building here in Boston area, in Quincy, Massachusetts. And as a result of that, the police were able to put his property under surveillance. Bear in mind that we had some fairly good surveillance photos from both crime scenes. Both hotels where these incidents occurred had fairly good equipment. We had a good picture of the individual we were looking for, and sure enough, Philip Markoff was seen coming and going from that Quincy address.
And how many others do you believe might be out there that could be victims of Philip Markoff?
It's very hard to say. There could be no other victims, but there is a possibility that there are others out there. So in my public comments over the last couple of days, I've asked anyone who's been contacted by Philip Markoff, perhaps was even approached in a hotel and robbed by Philip Markoff, to please let us know. I'm sure that these young women, if there are any others, would be worried about any possible prosecution on our end. We're not concerned about prosecuting these young women for offering masseuse services or perhaps even other services in hotels.
Good to know. Suffolk County DA Dan Conley, thank you.
Thanks, Julie.